Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a game 10 between the Grandmaster Ding Liren from China and Gukesh D, that is Domaraju from India. The score is 4.5 to 4.5. Last 6 games are ends in a draw. So let's see whether the draw saga continues or they have a result today. Ding's opens with the d4. Gukesh replies with knight f6, knight f3, d5, bishop to f4. Another London system. Ding plays the London for the second time. So let's see what he has new in his arsenal for today's game. e6, e3, c5, typical London system move. Whenever your opponent plays the London system, you must have to strike with the c5 to challenge the white center, so that you must have to develop the knight. Otherwise, this pawns become the weakness, and in certain variations, knight comes to your end, attack this pawn. So always play c5 in a London system. After c5, bishop to e2 is played, and now just simply bishop to d6. Now just simply pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, and just simply c4. Black has a solid center here. It is restricting the white pieces. So Dings plays the c4 to challenge the black center. Now either you have to capture or you can just play here. Both are okay for white. Castle, and just simply knight to c6, another developing move. Knight to c3, another developing move, and just simply pawn takes pawn. And now bishop takes c4. Here Gukesh thinks about 30 minutes for his next move. There are many variations you can play here, but the position will be a draw. Okay, I'm going to show you the first, which is not played in the game. Okay, let's say you play Gukesh played here knight to h5, attacking the bishop, and now here are 3 main moves you can play. You can play queen to c2, you can play knight to e4, or you can play bishop to g5, which is a normal looking move which people usually played. So Ding choose bishop to g5. I'm going to show you the another variations which are quite interesting to me. Okay, let's see. First, queen takes c2, and now knight takes f4, pawn takes knight, queen to f6, g3, knight d4, knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, knight e4, queen e2. This is also a dead draw here. There is another variations, that is after knight to e4. Sorry. Now there is another variation after knight to the e4, bishop to e7, then bishop to d6, bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, knight f6, rook to d1. This is also okay. And also there is another move after knight to the e4. You can also capture the bishop. Knight takes f4, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, knight takes bishop, b6, rook to d1, pawn takes knight, rook takes rook, knight takes rook, and pawn takes rooks. Okay, these all positions are dead draw, the equal. So Ding choose bishop to g5. So Ding choose bishop to g5. Now there are multiple options you can play. You can go back with knight, or you can go bishop to e7, or you can play queen to c2. Gukesh choose bishop to e7, and now knight to the e4 is played. Knight to f6, knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, queen takes queen, and here Gukesh captures with the rook. Okay, let's say you can also capture with the bishop, but then rook to d1 is come, and after bishop to b6, right, bishop is controlling the d8 square. Also rook is controlling the d8 square. Sorry, and also maybe the Gukesh doesn't like this, so he captured with the rook, and now bishop takes bishop, and just simply bishop. That's it. Pawn takes bishop, and now just simply rook to d1. Bishop to d7 is played. Now the rooks are connected, and just simply rook to c1, another developing move. Bishop to d8, and now just simply Ding captures the rook. Rook takes rook, and now bishop, king to f1, king to g6. Here you can play anything you want. The position will going to remain draw. So there is a a3 restricting the height movements in the future. So just simply f5, making room for the king to come in the center. At king can attack this pawns in certain variations. So now king to the e1, Ding does the same, and now just simply king f6, bishop to e2, knight to e7, and just simply g3, rook to c1. Gukesh G offers the Ding to exchange the rooks, as his rook will do anything, and Ding rook is not active. If Gukesh doesn't offer the rook trade, white rook can go to this c7 and attack this pawn. So best way is to just exchange the rooks and go for a draw. Now just knight to d2 and just simply knight to d3. Here Gukesh can also go to the knight to the e4, then f3 which we played, then knight to c5, b4, and knight f4. Okay, it's still also a draw, as Gukesh is a super GM and Ding is also super G1. So then know that whatever we play, the position is going to end in a draw. So I have to waste time. So Gukesh says, okay, I don't want to waste my time, just takes and takes. Now bishop takes c4, bishop c3, c6, sorry, and now just simply f4. Controlling the rooks, controlling the king's moves in the center, and just simply b3, doing the same thing. As the bishop is controlling the height squares, so the height king cannot come in the here. So basically, whole idea of this position is if you wanted to make draw, you have to preserve your bishop, and if you exchange the bishop, you must take care that opponent king must not come enter your position. Same, this is for the white and the black from both sides. If you are playing for a white, your first priority is to restrict the movement of the king and keep the position close. And if you wanted to exchange the pawns, you have to exchange the pawn all, so that you can hold a draw. If you allow the opponent king to enter in your position and to capture the pawn, then and then you can only lose. So here they just repeated the moves. So I am going to show you the line which I am just going to talking to you. Here Gukesh play, okay, king to d2 is played and king to e7 is played. Instead, what will happen after if black can come to the king to g6, trying to attack his pawn, as the king is here, and the bishop cannot attack this pawn as it's on the dark square and the bishop is light square. So here king to the c3. Okay, let's see. White king is trying to attack these pawns, so this pawn can promote to the queen, and black king try to exchange this pawn, so then this pawn can go forward and make the queen. So let's see how you can prevent this from both the sides. Okay, let's say king h5, you must have checked the king, and now the king cannot come enter here, so king has to go back and just king to g6. Okay, let's say now the white king tries the same thing. How in the world you are going to defend this? Okay, you just simply play king to the f6, bishop to b5. Okay, if you exchange the bishop here, you are dead loss here, so you don't exchange the bishop, you just move the bishop. You can move to the anywhere, you can put here, you can put here, or you can put here, it doesn't matter. So now just, okay, let's say you go to the bishop to the e8, so that this bishop cannot come here and don't stop you. So how could you defend this? You simply play king to the e7, you attack the white's bishop which enters in your position, and now simply king to the d6, as this king is now control this square. Now just simply king, you cannot play this, otherwise this simply bishop check here, and that's it. Okay, let's say now if bishop takes played, now just simply this, you give the check and the king moves and you win the bishop and win the game. So you must has to be careful here. Okay, let's say my bishop is controlling this. After king to the e6, you say as a white say, okay, I'm going to show this, I come back, you can lose the game. So whenever bring the king forward, always remember the checks, or you can lose the piece. Okay, you cannot going to lose the piece in one move every time. There may be the one time you defend the piece and there is another move, maybe the knight checks you, maybe the pawn checks you, maybe the queen checks or rook checks, or anything can check and you lose the game. So that's it is a dead draw position. So now in the game, Gukesh plays king to the e7, Ding plays king to the c3, and just simply king to e6, and now just simply b4. f6, and now just simply king to the d4. As in the center, if tries to summon transaction, just you wanted to exchange, or even if you do not exchange, it's still a draw. So now just simply h6, bishop to b3 and bishop to b7. They repeated the moves here, and the game ends in a draw. As per the FIDE rules, you cannot offer a draw before move 40, as this is a move 36 and there is nothing to do in this position. So they just tries to repeat the move. So whenever 3-4 repetition happens, then game is a draw. Whether you do 3-4 repetition in the first 3 moves, first 6 moves, whenever you do 3-4, it's a draw. So the game ends in a draw. And now tomorrow is Gukesh has a white pieces and Ding has a black pieces. So Gukesh has a final 2 white pieces and Ding has 3 white pieces. At top level chess, the chess is, I think, is too much solved. It's very difficult to find something new in the opening. So it's very interesting to see what Gukesh and his second comes up with to surprise Ding. If Gukesh wins tomorrow, then he has a great advantage. Then Ding must has to win, and if tomorrow is a draw, then Gukesh is only left with 1 white game and Ding has 3 white games. So, or if tomorrow Ding wins with the black pieces, then Ding has an advantage as he has 3 white pieces. So it's very interesting to see whether the both players play safe and make 5 draws in a row and they go into the tie breaks, or they just try to get a point and win the world championship match before the rapid game. Thank you guys. That's it for today's video.